one of our favorites, the best. Todd Zolecki joins us, MLB.com. Todd, how big was that swing last night?
Huge. You think about what happened on Tuesday night against the Marlins. They get down early. Their fans are booing 11 pitches into the game, and then Tyler Phillips gives up a 3-run bomb. 4 batters into the game. There's more boos. They had a team meeting before the game yesterday to kind of hash out some things. So that Schwarber home run, that Schwarber slam, it energized the team. It energized the crowd. I think it allowed these guys to relax a little bit. And so it was huge. And I'm sure they're hoping that it was needed to finally get on a roll. They got to take care of business against the Nationals this week. There's no doubt about it. They've got to do that. So, we'll see kind of how it goes down, but they've got to pick it up. There's no doubt.
So tell us about the team meeting, because that was, obviously they felt the need to kind of reset it, right? To kind of get everybody back with, more focus, which, you've been covering this game for a long time. August, you hit those spots in August. They call it the dog days for a reason. That cliche is legit. Sometimes you need a refocus, a reset.
Yeah, you definitely need to reset, refocus. It's funny because a lot of people have taken the Phillies and Rob Thompson and not chewing out players in the dugout and in the field as kind of inactivity and inaction and indifference. But I disagree with that. I think that, they just believe in the group, but they get together yesterday before the game and they talk. And, it's funny. And that's right. Like what happens in this clubhouse stays in the clubhouse. So nobody even wanted to acknowledge that this meeting existed, but it did happen. There was a team meeting. And I think they just kind of wanted to reset, gather everybody together, say, listen, we're a very good team. We're not as bad as we played. We're going to get this thing figured out. Just, maybe a little bit more focus, maybe a little bit more better effort in some spots. I think you definitely saw some of that yesterday. So And I was talking with Ruben Amaro Jr. the other day, and he was talking with Chase Utley last week in LA. And he mentioned an interesting point that Chase made, which is basically this is actually probably good for them to face some adversity rather than just steamroll through the entire season.
Yeah.
And have nothing bad happen to you.
Yeah.
So this could be good for them.
Well, it's funny, Todd, because Schwarber said, we're going to come out of this.
They've said as much.
Yeah. Oh, I have some issues.
No, go ahead. I think I might have some lag on here.
Yeah. You want to? I'll tell you what. Why don't you try to reconnect? This way, we can try to fix that thing.
Okay.
And sometimes, I agree with what Todd said. Sometimes it is better for you to go through that kind of. That certain turmoil is good for you.
Sure. I mean, would you rather have it in the dog days of August or game 6 and 7 of the NLCS at home?
We saw last year.
Like Turner right now, and his chase rate out of the zone is skyrocketing, and the amount of sliders low and away they're throwing them are skyrocketing. It's almost exactly what happened in game 6 and 7 last year in the NLCS, except he's going through it now. So hopefully that means he can correct it so that it doesn't happen come playoff time.
Yeah, all right. I think we got Todd back.
All right.
Yeah, and Schwarber said, Todd, that, we're going to come out of this. This was before yesterday, that we're going to come out of this and we're going to be better for it. And it kind of echoes what Chase told Ruben.
Yeah, I think so. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not worried about this team. It's not like, this is the 2012 Phillies where they're kind of on their last legs. I think a lot of these guys are still in their prime. I think most of them are all still in their prime. Wheeler, Harper, Turner, Schwarber, Nola, all those guys. It's not like if they don't win this year, they're screwed and you got to blow up the team. I think the window is still a little bit longer than that. So the poor play the last 2 months doesn't have me overly concerned. It's not good. You need it to be better. It needs to get better fast because you don't want them to all of a sudden be the third division winner and have to play a wild card series against the number 6 seed in the NL. You don't want that. You want to get a first round bye. But I do, so for all those reasons, I think that they'll be okay. I really do. Now, you might be calling me a month from now. We might be talking a month from now going, hey, what happened to they're going to be fine?
I mean, listen, I feel the same way.
I think they'll be okay. Yeah.
I do. Listen, I echo you. I've been saying this, that I'm not panicked. That this is still a good club. To me, I worry about one thing because I think he's the most important person on a run, and that's Ranger Suarez. I think he's paramount to any kind of playoff Red October run, that you need him to be the third starter and you need him to be that guy because he's vital. Their rotation, part of it's coincided, this funk, with the rotation. I mean, the fact that you just tried out Walker and Phillips the last 2 days. I mean, their rotation was lights out. They need Suarez back.
They need Suarez back, and he needs to not only come back, he needs to pitch like he pitched the first 2.5 months out of the season when he made the All-Star team. He can't be the guy. He can't come out and be 5 innings, 4 runs. But you think about this rotation was its strength, I believe, the first couple months of the season, and they've fallen off because Suarez has been hurt. Spencer Turnbull got hurt. So they've really had to dig into the rotation depth. Tyler Phillips did a really nice job his first few starts. He threw a shutout. He struggled a little bit recently. He talked last night how he's got to get that edge back. He's lost that edge. Taijuan Walker, boy, I don't know how long the leash is going to be there, but you're going to bump him out for Tyler Phillips at some point. The thing with Taijuan Walker that has me concerned is that they keep talking about his velocity is coming back and his command is back and his splitter looks better, but you really haven't seen great results yet. So,
I
will say this about
he had no command,
right? And I will say this about Taijuan Walker, and it's kind of in relation to I get a lot of like Garrett Stubbs questions. The biggest issues facing this team right now, and I hope this makes sense, is not the number 5 starter and the backup catcher. Like if the top 4 hitters in the lineup are doing their job, if the top 4 starters in the rotation are doing their job, if the top 4 relievers in the bullpen are doing their job, they can get by with the number 5 starter and the backup catcher. So I think the focus needs to be kind of elsewhere on what's going on with this struggle. Trey Turner's been struggling.
Turner, I was going to bring this up to you. The Turner funk surprised me because he looked like he was locked in, real consistent. Now, I don't know if, he felt like he needed to do more. And sometimes when you press to do more, it'll throw you off and throw you into a funk.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, Ant. There's definitely, he says he's healthy, but he's not running hard all the time. It seems like he's a little nervous about blowing out the hammy again because he knows if he blows out the hammy, his season could be over.
Yeah.
He seems to be taking his struggles offensively into the field, and it's affecting his defense. And so you're really not getting anything close to resembling the version of Trey Turner that you think that you should have on the field. And that's a big problem right now. So they sat him last night. Rob Thompson says he can be back in the lineup tonight, but they need to get him going. He's their 2-hole hitter, so they got to get him going, and he is, as important as Bryce Harper is and as important as Kyle Schwarber is, you get a guy that's hitting 350 that can run like crazy. That's what a catalyst it is for the offense.
Hey, Todd, how much concern internally is there about Jose Alvarado? His K rate has drastically decreased from even points earlier this season, and he's just not throwing strikes like he needs to. Is there some concern internally?
I don't know if it's concern, but they're aware that there's a problem. I think it might be a little bit of a confidence thing. They've talked about, honestly, a lot of the relievers just not attacking the strike zone as much. Not trusting their stuff as much, and that might be a thing with Alvarado. Last night was better, so maybe and Jeff Hoffman was better last night. Maybe that kind of gets him going. I think a lot of these issues really is just kind of like everything seems to be going bad at once, and a lot of these guys are kind of fighting themselves, and a lot of them have also talked about trying to do too much, trying to do more than they can, affect more change than they can affect. So, but last night it was funny. I was talking with Jeff Hoffman after the game. It went from Strom to Hoffman to Alvarado to Estevez, and they all pitched a scoreless inning. And I said, well, it's the first time you guys have done that together. And Jeff Hoffman's like, yeah, that's kind of how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
We're supposed to go out there and we're supposed to put up zeros. That's kind of how they drew it up when they got Estevez, and so that, if they can get back to that, now you can get by maybe with the Taiwan Walker.
All right. Well,
The 5 spot, you can get by a little bit if,
no, it's a shame we're trying.
All right, guys.
We love you, Todd.
All right. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
No, all good.
We love you, man. You're the best. Todd Zolecki,
Right.
MLB.com.
We all silly like the mayor.